Okay, I'm back. I'm in Rooms of Wonder. And again, at the time of this video, this is a current Amazon and other places book. So I am going in. Now this one was done just in the last week or so. So if you missed it, go ahead and look for that. This shows a lot of color bouncing around and refers us to a bit more about how we deal with colors. So again, that was a really good video and it will help you do that other page. This time, I'm going to do the stove. We're going to look into the kitchen. All right? So I am going to actually put a couple of things on my table, and this is going to help me to keep my book within the space that I need it to be so that you are in view. All right, so let's see how this works. Alrighty, my cough is still here. I have had like almost 2 weeks of just coughing and coughing. So we're gonna see how I do on this. I am again with my Polychromo pencils. This is cream number 102. Then I've got a yellow. This is cadmium. This is dark cadmium yellow 108. And then number, sometimes I can get the light just right and sometimes I can't. 183. And it is light yellow ochre. Yes, sometimes those are that hard to read because they're in gold and I'm trying to keep a lot of light on the page for you. So, alrighty, I am going to start with let's start with the actual darkest. The darkest is going to be like right around the edge of that light bulb. Just right there. That's it. Okay. Now I will tell you, I am going Wednesday to the GI doctor and hopefully get an appointment to have an upper GI done. For you that have been with me for a while, the cough has been with me for almost a year, and my hernia doctor won't fix my hernia without me having had an upper GI in case there's an esophageal hernia also. I'm going to my second yellow. Now this yellow, I am also going to do the light bulbs, okay? So I am not doing just a white light here. I have a yellow tinted light. And then I'm also going to go another ring around here, but it's going to be doubled and I'm going to fade as I go out. So I'm going to overlap and then fade as I'm going out. So really make it fade if you can. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get that fade. You might have to go back in with an eraser if you're heavy-handed, and that's okay. So anyway, it took over a month on a waiting list to get into a GI doctor. I do not know why they are so busy right now, but they are. I've been on hold. I had this appointment since last June, May or June, yeah. So anyway, my ENT wanted me to come also. So we're hoping we can find out what's going on with my throat and why I keep clearing my throat and coughing so much. I find if I talk more, it's not as bad. And then it's also not as bad while I'm eating or if I'm asleep, which is not what you generally think of for acid reflux. Now see, that did not fade into that quick enough. So I am going to show you how I do this. I'm going to grab the eraser And I'm just going to go ahead and erase. Can you see I'm doing this shape that the light bulb is? All right. And it's making that to fade more. Because it's such a little spot, sometimes it gets harder to fade those out quickly. Okay, so just like that. And then, because we don't want to swipe it with our fingers, use some sort of a brush and swipe that off so that you're not smearing. This is just a very soft, big, it's a 1.5 by Plaid's flat brush. But use like a makeup blush brush. Those are fantastic because they're so soft, it'll flick it off, but it won't pull anything on your page. Now I can go back in here and do this again. There we go. See how much better that looks? The line is not quite as defined. That's more what I wanted. So see, now I have my light actually coming down into the kitchen. And I may go back in and add some of that brighter yellow later, but I just knew that to start with, it's not what I wanted. And see, I am making sure that I've got these angles going on. See here and here? So as you're going, make sure you're following the angle that that light would actually be allowing you to hit. And it can go down as far as you want it to go. We just got new light bulbs in our kitchen because we were not getting enough light. And we got daylight bulbs. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I told y'all about that or not. Evie came in, I turned on the light, and she looked straight up and goes, "Grandma." So she could definitely tell the difference. Our son walked in and he goes, "Oh, where's my sunglasses?" So yeah. So see, I am adding some more of this back in, but I can see how much pressure or lack of pressure to put on there now that I have that lighter shade in there also. So take your time. It's not a rushed deal. It's not a race. As Sharon used to tell me when we were painting, yes, you're a fast painter, but are you enjoying the journey? So make sure that you're enjoying the journey as you go along doing. Okay, and there would be light all the way down, but we don't want to put light on everything because it's going to alter how we're coloring the rest of the page. Okay. Okay, so next, let's see, I think I'm going to do a black and white plaid backsplash. Okay, so now looking at the light that's coming down, that means when we pick these, they're going to be lighter because the light is hitting them. Okay, it can be darker over here, but then as soon as we take off, it's going to be lighter. As we go down here behind, we can get a little darker. Okay. I just thought I wanted this, the stove just looked kind of old, and I thought, ooh, let's do this looking more old. And older to me is the old black and white plaid tiles. That's what my grandmother had. Okay, and then as we get up here, it's really going to be lighter. Just keep at it. Take your time. There's nothing like getting a page almost finished and then getting in a rush and really messing something up. So take your time on it. It's better to take your time, watch what you're doing, instead of rushing through and then having to erase and do it over. Because then you didn't save any time at all, and you're probably more frustrated. And I'm going to finish all the way across just like this. Now, back in here, this would be darker because there would be a tile showing through there. Then this one would be darker. And then this down here would be darker where your tile is. Okay, so if this one is a black, this one is a black, then as we go down, and see, they didn't do all the lines, so I'm just kind of improvising. There would be a line coming through here. So if this one is, then this one would be. And that's where they're really going to start getting darker because they're back behind. Okay, if this one is, this one is, this one, not that one, this one is. So see here, we can start getting just a little bit darker. And by the time we get to this one, we can actually have a black tile because it's way back there. Okay, so go ahead and finish those off. And then I'm going to go over and look. I know the container next to us, I did in orange, but I really wanted this stove to be like in an orange. Okay, I wanted that orange furniture look. I call a stove a piece of furniture, wouldn't you? It's I don't know, it's a big appliance, okay? So what I'm gonna do is come through here and I'm using orange. The reason being, I want my lightest shade to be an orangey red. Oh, what is this? Good question. This is 115 dark cadmium orange. So, let me get that in. All right, and then I'm going to come right through here, here, and side, and then the top. Okay, then I'm going to change over to my medium shade, which is going to be this one, and it is 117 light cadmium red. So we're going to come up a little and blend into it. And I'm blending quite a bit because, like I said, I do want this to be more of a red stove, but I do want the orange to serve as the highlights. I'm going to go right through here. I would have served me better had I sharpened this pencil a bit before I got started. But alas, I did not, so. All right, then through here. Remember, if your pencils are not blending well for you, you can come back in with your lightest shade and blend, or a colorless blender, whatever it is that you use to help you blend. Now, that stove is still looking pretty orange, right? Okay, now I'm fixing to bring the red in. So get ready for that red. I'm actually bringing in, standing up real quick, make sure I'm still in. I am in frame. Okay, 217 Middle Cadmium Red. Okay, so here we go. And this one has a nice point. When you have a nice point and you know you have little bitty spaces to get into, do the littlest itty bitty spaces first while you've got a nice sharp point on that pencil. Get those little ones done. And then I'm going to go over this, but ever so soft. Just really softly. Just enough to make that a red-orange. And you're like, well, why did you color it that color in the first place? Remember, sometimes we color things and then go over them to make it a new shade. I didn't have the red that I wanted to start with, so I'm blending a couple of these so that it makes that red. Look at the difference in this side and this right here. All right, so I'm going to come in here and do the same thing. I'm going to get this bottom leg and then lightly go over all this just to push it more to the red. Now that grill across the bottom, I'm going to probably do in silver gel pen, a glitter gel pen, and probably the knobs also. Okay. The inside around here may be actually done in black. I've just not really decided yet. And again, I'm going to add a little bit to all of this. All my little bitty areas like that will most likely get finished off in gel pen. It just makes them so much easier. Now, this is up towards the top where more of the light is. So as I come in, I think I'm going to leave this right here in that orangey shade. In fact, I'm going to come back with this orange now, and I'm going to blend right across there. It just kind of brightened it up a bit. Okay? Next, we still have a few minutes. I know, I said I was going to take my time on it. I am going to use these two blues. All right, we have 146, which is sky blue. So any light blue that goes with your medium blue. 144, cobalt blue greenish. I don't know, that's what it says. So I thought I would do my pans in this. Now, question is, do I do this cabinet also in this color? I think I'm probably going to. And, you know, not all this has to be the same color. My grandmother's old mixer was actually white with some black bits. So I may just come in with some gray on that, because it looks like they're making something there. Okay, let's get the pans done before I go too much further here. So right there with the lightest shade, and then I'm going to come around here. Now, if you're afraid of smearing that black pencil that was inside there, you might want to do these pieces first. Remember, a lot of times I tell you, you might want to watch first, then watch again as you follow along, knowing that you may want to reverse how you do a few things. So anyway, there's my blue. Now I am going to go darker over that and leave just the very centers of this in the lightest shades. All right, so I'm going to do the handle. I'm just going to go across that. I'm going to go around the base of this, because we have light coming from up top. So we don't want to destroy all the light that we've just put into this. And that's not blended, and I know it's not, okay? Deepen that. I'm going to deepen this. And then I'm going to come back with that light blue in a minute. I'm going to do the same thing down here. That's why you want colors that you know you can blend together. If I had used a blue that had a little bit of purple in it, or I don't know, just you want to make sure your colors will blend. Don't use a blue that's got some purple in it and then a blue that's got like a red base to it. They've got to be able to be blended and look good together. One of these days I'll do a lesson on blues. How's that? And then I can come back in with that blue again and go even deeper down here. Really settle those down onto that stovetop. And what about the pan inside? Let's just pretend this is a set. Okay, so it's a set of pans. They were fortunate enough to get a whole set of these things. Deeper at the bottom, and then blend them in again. Just go ahead and blend. I was telling my daughter the other day, I said, somebody got me the newest coloring book that's coming out in a couple months from Johanna Basford. So I'm trying to finish up some stuff in her old book, which is the newest book. I mean, it was just out last year. And in fact, it was the first book I had ever gotten. So my daughter just laughed and she says, that's right, it's coming. Now, I am using a gray. This is Cold Gray 230. I want my bowl and my mixer to appear like it's white. Okay, I want a white mixer. Grandma's was, I want mine to be. I'm going to leave that top in yellow. Now I'm going from this. This was number 1, Cold Gray number 1. Now I'm going to move to Cold Gray number 2. I pulled them both because I wasn't sure how much difference there would be. And I'm going right above that indentation. That's where that top flips up. So there's a dip there, and we want to make sure it looks like it. And then I'm going to do the bottom of the bowl. When you have something that's white, you need to add a color to it to help it stay looking white. Yes, I just got a little louder because I'm standing up to look through the camera. That's not too bad. It doesn't look that bright or that dark to me where I'm sitting down. In fact, even looking at it directly, it does not look that bright. So anyway, I don't have a problem with it. I'll leave it. I do like it. Okay, so see how I put a little bit there? Just to kind of weight that down so it doesn't look like it's floating around on the shelf. Okay, and then I can put a little bit right there. Okay, that was Cold Gray number 4. I'm going to come back with the lightest one and just blend. Just do a little blend. Okay, we have just like 2 or 3 minutes. So let's look at this other cabinet real quick. The lightest shade that I had pulled will be here and all through here and here and across. Okay, and all this. Got it? Because I know we don't have time to do all of it. Then you're going to come in with your second shade and do these sides right here. And then a little bit over top like we did over here. All right. The thing I want to show you, when you're going over the top of these, oops, my timer's going off. Okay, I just put add a minute. When we're going over top, I'm just gonna put this on there real quick, because you're gonna do this just like you did this one. I'm just trying to show you where it's gonna be a little bit darker. Okay, so when you grab that third color that's dark, do all back in behind here. Do all of this. That's back in behind all the plates and cups and everything else. Also, go darker right here on that piece of wood, and right here, right down here in that V, and then this is the inside of the cabinet. So be sure you get that. Okay? So your darkest darks are what I just showed you last, and inside this cabinet. Oh, there goes my alarm again. That was already a minute. Wow. Okay, so, okay, we still have time left. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to stand up to do this so I can kind of keep an eye on time, because I don't want to just leave you with it. When we come back in the next session, we're going to finish off our lights and the rest of this picture, okay? We'll just go ahead and do the rest of this. So this is all getting done. And if you choose different colors, that's not a big deal. If you're not even doing this page and you're just watching to see application, then kudos, that's awesome too. Okay? Okay, so that was my lightest. Then here's my next one, where I'm going to go over basically all of it, and it just makes it a different shade. Well, I don't know why, but my alarm keeps going off now every minute. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I won't run over. I have this fear of running over time because I've done that in the past, and then had to post a second video that was like a minute and a half long. I was like, ah. So, all right, so there's our second shade. Going darker at the corners and across the bottom area. Okay, and then right under here, oops, that's all right, the red will cover it, because this lip is probably over the top of that. And then here I will do just a little bit. Just a little bit. Up from the bottom. Is this making sense? I try to explain why I do things, because I'm a why person. If I understand why, then it's much easier for me to achieve it. You know what I'm saying? Here I just want it to be a little rougher looking, because doors always get messed up on the front. And then this in here is going to be red. It's just the inside of my cabinet. And my little shelves there, I will probably do the other two colors. So really quick, because it's almost 30 minutes. The orange, and then come in with the darker just on the sides, and that's it. Okay? Whew. So when you look at these together, you do see a lot of orange, but I think in the realm of things, once we get all these done, we're going to be repeating a lot of these colors anyway. And I don't know if you can see the glittery shine that I got on parts of this one where I went back with the gel pen. But anyway, okay, I will see y'all back in just a few days. Okay? You won't hear how my appointment went though, because this is coming like a week after my appointment. Maybe I'll leave you a comment or something on how it went in that video, the most he's going to do is probably say, hey, we're going to get you an appointment for an upper GI. And I'm going to be like, yay! All right, thanks for stopping by.